You know, all I wanted to do was cut off the catalytic converter just to see if it was the problem. But no, Ivan, oh, where's the logic in that? How do you know that's your problem? Well, I don't, but it's not being throwing a parts cannon at it because I'm ripping a part off that I'm not going to put back on anyhow. So now, no, we got to be logical, and we got to test, and we got to do that. Wonderful. Hey, it's Mike, the disgruntled mechanic, back again. What we are going to do today is we're looking at this GEO, and we're trying to find out the cause of low power. I thought it was the catalytic converter, and I was going to chop it off. But I had some questions from people about whether that was actually the problem, which to me it didn't matter. I was just going to chop it off, and it was no loss, no gain, no money other than a blade, a Sawzall blade to cut it off with. We may still end up doing that. But what I'm going to do, or attempt to do, is take the O2 sensor out and do a back pressure test with my cheap 1999 Chinesium back pressure tester thing. So let's go ahead and we'll try and get the O2 sensor out, probably be rusted in and smash my knuckles, but welcome to the world of mechanics. So what I have here is this nice Tecton oxygen sensor removal tool, 22 millimeter 7/8, which I am going to give this a whirl. I have a good blue point at work, which I've used before, which has worked well. And unfortunately, I don't even have a 7/8 inch wrench, but we'll see if we can get up there on this and get it out. What I'm going to do is find the clip and unhook it first, so let me work on that, see where that goes, and we'll go from there. So we got it unhooked, so let's see if we can get this O2 sensor out of here. Well, it's loose and we're working getting this out. No use you guys watching this. I'll let you know when it's out. Okay, so since this would actually be pretty easy, I'm just going to see, since I have the O2 sensor out, and it doesn't really matter, I'm going to take it for a ride and see if it has more power with the O2 sensor out for the exhaust to go through easily. So I'm going to go out and give her a rip, and I'll be back and we'll see what happens. So just for shits and giggles, let's fire it up and just see if the idle's any better. We'll still take her for a ride just to see what's happening. It may be running a little bit better and have a little bit more power, but then again, maybe that's just because it's making more noise and it's just me thinking that. But okay, maybe it is fuel. Maybe it wasn't the catalytic converter. Right, it doesn't seem to be the catalytic converter, so I was wrong. We'll just have to diagnose further. I didn't bring my fuel pressure gauge, but I think that's where I'll go next to check it. So I was doing a visual inspection, as I probably should have done in the beginning, and I found something that may be contributing. There's a slight crack in this intake hose here, and unfortunately I'm out of duct tape, because that's the way I'm going to fix it for this hillbilly fix, and we put her back together and go from there. I'm going to put the O2 sensor back in, clear the code, and put some duct tape on this. We'll see if that helps anything, and we'll continue from there. We had found a leak here, which you can see it's right there, but it's pretty hard to see otherwise. So I'm going to do the hillbilly fix on it, and I'm going to put some duct tape around it. I'm going to tighten this up, and then what I'm going to do is I have the gauge hooked up just to do a back pressure test on the catalytic converter. So I'm going to do that too after I get this tightened down, because hopefully that'll make it idle the best, because that was the original problem. Then we'll look at the catalytic converter, and we'll take it from there. So as you can see, if this gauge is right, it's hooked up, there is no back pressure at all. So Ivan was right. Thanks, Ivan. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but it didn't want to stall near as much now since we did our fix on it. So let's get the O2 sensor back in, clear the code out of this, make sure it's the only one we have, and take it for a ride and hopefully wrap this puppy up. It's always hard to tell how well the scan tool's showing up in there, but what we have is trouble codes and ECU 1. So let's see what it is. Okay. Let's see, where's trouble codes? Read fault code. And I don't know, let's go with, what did we go with? Suzuki, read current. Alright, O2 sensor, heater circuit, bank 1, sensor 1. Well, since we had it unplugged, I'm going to assume that's what it was. So we're just going to go back and clear that. So I'm going to clear this, and then we'll take her for a ride, and we'll see if there's any difference and if the code stays out. So bringing her up the hill, I don't appear to have any codes, or none came in. It just doesn't seem to go a whole lot better. So, you know, it's probably like a bunch of the comments said. It's just a real dog. That's all that 4-cylinder is going to do. It runs better, there's no doubt. It idles better. It's still got a little problem, but it does idle better and everything. I don't know, no codes. So I'm going to wrap this one up with that and just say, Ivan, you were right. I mean, it wasn't the catalytic converter. This didn't really help the power, but it did have another problem. It certainly helped the idling. So, once again, this is Mike, the disgruntled mechanic, saying, you know, if you can get somebody else to do it, you're probably better off. Thumbs up, subscribe if you like. See ya.
Oh, you dirty, rotten bolt! Bolt, how could you break off? You dirty, rotten mother! Oh, dirty, rotten, how dare you break? Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Not again! Oh, man alive! Son of a... Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Jesus! No wonder I'm the disgruntled mechanic!